some things to talk about from that.
Yes, we have a lot to talk about, a lot of people to thank. So let's get started right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays, as well as all the other traditional platforms, podcast platforms, I should say. And give us a check out on Instagram and Twitter at Locked On Rays. And as always, you can email us or send us a voice memo to lockedonrays@gmail.com. So, Ulises, we were at FanFest 2023 for the Tampa Bay Rays, a huge, huge crowd. But I think before we dive into the nitty gritty and our observations from that morning and afternoon, should we just go ahead and thank everybody that we met and encountered and interacted with on Saturday?
Yes, we definitely should. We had conversations with all of you, and it was awesome to meet you. And some of you we approached to, some of you just recognized us, some of you were just happenstance, and it was really, really lovely to chat baseball with you guys. And do you have a list?
Yes, I do. So we have, in no particular order here, Christian, Ryan, Sydney, Mia and her wonderful family, Caden, Gary, Dave, Jack, Mary Claire, Melissa, Carlos, Chase, and Austin. A lot of people that were awesome at FanFest and that we were able to chat with and talk with and get some just fans of the show and talk a little bit of baseball as well.
Yeah, and all of you had really nice things to say, and so I really do want to appreciate your words, your support. It's really cool. That's something that we began in what was this, June? I think I remember June 10th, 2019. Has grown to be what it is, and has like a little niche audience for Rays fans, and hopefully it keeps growing. Every time that you meet a Rays fan and you watch us and you listen to us, make sure to tell somebody else, and hopefully they can be part of the family. And we're on our way to 1,000 on subscribers on YouTube. I think we passed 630 after the FanFest, so that was really cool. So
Nice.
Thank you all so much for giving us the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. That's really, really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's dive into it. We put out on Twitter what was the best thing about FanFest 2023 and what was the worst thing about FanFest 2023. Ulises, what do you want to start with, best or worst?
I think best.
Okay, let's go with best. What was the best thing or things from that event on Saturday for you?
The best for me was the good mood, the perhaps great mood that you could sense around the stadium. It was so unique. I'm usually more of a science driven person. I don't really but the vibes, I do believe in vibes, and there were really good vibes at Tropicana on Saturday, and that was really cool to see. Everybody was smiling. It seemed like everybody was really having a good time. I saw the players being incredibly approachable. I didn't see any standoffish behavior. I saw fans helping each other with directions. Where's the yard sale? Where can I get this or that? That was really cool. The people that were working the event, which honestly, it must kind of suck to have to get up early on a Saturday and go to work. Everybody has
customer service. I mean,
yes.
Dealing with the people, the customer's always right. I think Larry David said it best. Usually the customer's wrong and an idiot. So, and having to deal with the amount of people that are coming through, like I would hate to be a Disney employee, like the crap that you have to deal with. And I'm sure that for the most part, everybody was, easy to work with, but I'm sure that, some of those people that have those thankless jobs, they may hear it from a fan or two or three.
And the ones that we've got to talk to, they were very friendly and they were awesome. They were having a good time. So really, I think the best thing was the ambiance, the environment, the good mood. Everybody was cheerful, and I think that you need to have that. It's a new season. Everybody's already like in a good mood. We haven't seen any heartbreaking losses in 2023. No Kevin crash moments, right? No, why are you substituting that guy for that guy moment? Everything is happy. Everything is great. So yeah, I think that's the main takeaway for me personally, was just the good ambiance that I saw on Saturday.
You mentioned players being very willing to interact with the fan base and take photos and chum it up a little bit. Was there a particular player that stood out to you most in being extremely gregarious and forthcoming with that?
I'll mention two.
Okay.
Francisco Mejia.
Yes.
He was taking pictures with everybody. I think some guy started chanting his name. And he was just having a ball. He looked like he was blushing, but he was having a good time. And he said no to no one that I saw. And then the other guy was Luis Patino. He was heading out of to the exit, but as soon as everybody stopped him for an autograph or for a picture, with a smile, he did it, and he was heading out, but he wasn't going to say no. And that was a really, really cool thing. He kept moving, but that was a really cool thing to see. Is just hey, look, it's mostly it's going to be this one time, right? That you're going to have this kind of interaction with the fans. So if you're able to just give a moment of your time, which is very precious. I mean, we don't have a lot of things to give as human beings. Time is definitely one of the most expensive things that we can give to another human being.
Yes.
That was a really cool thing to see that from the players.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I was probably closest to Francisco Mejia, and he just seemed to really eat it up and really enjoy it. And I think the female officer was kind of hitting on him just from afar. I kind of gathered that she was digging him as well. But no, it was great to see all of that for sure. I agree with you on the whole, just seeing the crowd, all the families, everybody in Rays gear, and just the enthusiasm for the upcoming season. And I heard the number was around 12,000, more than 12,000 fans that came through. It honestly seemed more than that. I don't know. I'm sure there's obviously they have a mechanism for determining how many people walk through the gates and walk through the doors, but it was definitely a very well attended affair. I think part of it is, one, it's a free event. Two, it's been 3 years. 2020, 2021. Yeah, 3+ years since the last Fan Fest. So people were chopping at the bit for that opportunity. And I didn't even care. I mean, it was kind of crazy that normally I complain about the length of time it takes to park and get into the stadium, but it was kind of refreshing to see the line backed up all the way out the door, all the way around the parking lot. And it took us, I mean, Ulises, we went into the gates together and we were waiting, at least a half an hour to be able to get inside because the line was so long. I mean, we were able to talk and converse a little bit. And I mean, we were kind of like, wow, man, this could be a while before we get in. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing. It shows that, yes, there is a true passionate fan base here in Tampa Bay.
There is. Of course there is. And I think we know that as Rays fans, because obviously you're in the area, you know that there is a passion for it. But it was really nice to see 12,000, which, I mean, to me, it looked like way more than 12,000. Yeah. But again, perspective is a what sometimes. So okay, fine, it's 12,000. But I could have sworn it was upwards to 15 to 20. Like it really was awesome to see that big long line. It wasn't that awesome as well to be in the Florida sun. But again, we had even a perfect weather. Like it was windy, it was breezy. It wasn't even that scorching hot. It was lovely. It would have been.
And let's also take into account, it was obviously when you live in an area like this, there's always something going on, always some other distraction. And I think part of the reason that I-4 was so backed up, depending on when you tried to get to the Trop for Fan Fest, going on, and a lot of county fairs going on. I believe Pasco County Fair, Osceola County Fair. I mean, a lot of different directions that are being pulled through that. So for people to show up for a couple hours, I think that's big for sure. The other thing, one of my best moments from FanFest was the interviews that Neil Solondz and crew did with the players, particularly Josh Lowe, Curtis Mead, friend of the program, and who am I leaving out? Jonathan Aranda. And, it's a lot of easy, tee off answers, or tee off questions, and, nothing hard hitting per se. But I did like one of the questions from Neil on, hey, which prospect do you all see as, hey, this guy needs more love, he needs more attention? And they all mentioned different names of Oslevis Basabe, Junior Caminero, and Taj Bradley. So I think that was a cool add-in by Neil among the other questions that he put forth to them.
I agree with you. That was the best question that he asked those three players. It's slow pitch softball. Those interviews, which is okay. Like that's. What are you gonna ask the guys? Rocket science questions or anything like that? But yeah, that was, I think, a really good one for other fans to hear those names from the players.
Yes,
I mean the players they see these guys playing. They share locker rooms, and so that was. I agree with you. That was a really good question, and I hope that Neil likes those props by you, and he unblocks you from Twitter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was giving me the death stare once or twice, so because of my Neil Solondz impression. It's all in good fun here.
Fun.
Hey, just it is what it is. That's what we're about. So those are some of the best moments from FanFest. We'll get to our worst moments or worst experiences from FanFest, and we also have some listener comments as well on their experience overall at FanFest. But before we do that, we first have to tell you about FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel. It is America's #1 sports book. New customers get a no-sweat first bet for up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. So just download the FanDuel Sports app. It is safe, secure, and super easy to use. So FanDuel, actually I should say, additionally, FanDuel lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same game parlay. A lot of opportunities here at FanDuel to make some money if you're interested. So don't miss the chance to get your no sweat first bet for up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, Ulises, moving on to the worst thing about FanFest. What comes to mind for you?
Sydney didn't bring chocolates from her chocolate store, Peterbrook, and I was really upset about that. Didn't have any chocolates, so that was.
You think she'd have like a baseball chocolate or something? Yeah, let's give a shout out to her, Peterbrook Chocolatier. She's based out of, we normally don't do this. Normally you have to pay for advertising here. And maybe the bosses will get upset, but I don't really care. They're located at 777 North Ashley Drive, Sky Point Suite D2 in Tampa, Florida, a.k.a. downtown Tampa. So, and she had a cool thing that she was getting signed as well, like a Bugs Bunny Rays baseball animation, if you will.
Yeah, we definitely, it was done by, I think his name is Preston. I forget his first name though. But yeah, he's really cool. He's really active on Twitter. She got that from an auction and was getting it signed by all players. We made sure to retweet it. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, look at our Twitter feed and you will see it. No, I mean, worst thing.
I can't believe it's taking you time to think about this, because I've got I've got some negativity to me, but I'm ready to. I don't know. Well,
you know what? This is great. I usually am the one that rants. Kevin, take the mic, rant away. What were all of the negative things? And I'll tell you if they could be negatives on my book. But go ahead, shoot them off.
I mean, I don't have a ton of negative things. Obviously, it's just the name of the game with professional sports. But the cost of food and drink is just extremely outrageous. And I get, look, I'm not trying to be crazy here. We did get into the event for free, and there was free parking. But what was it for a Michelob Light? $14.
Oh, no, wait.
Or was it more? Maybe.
We both, treated each other, right?
Yes.
2 beers each. Okay.
I didn't finish the second one. I'm not an alcoholic.
well, buddy, catch up. It was like $40.
Yeah.
$40 for 2 beers. What are we doing?
Insane. And it wasn't like a trough of beer. I mean, it was what? I don't know, 16, 20 ounces of draft beer.
Yeah.
I'm going, like, I'm about to, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to start doing what I do at golf courses where I just sneak them into my golf bag. I just refrigerate them the night before and make sure I'm ready to go and just pop them out. I don't know how I'm going to, I mean, my mom used to sneak in candies in the movie theater, through a purse, but it's damn near impossible to do something like that at these ballparks. But there's got to be some kind of creative angle or something. This is ridiculous.
A married couple that I know, I will not divulge their names, but when they go to cruises, what they do, they have a plastic sealer. So vodka or rum, they will use the plastic sealer to do that. And they have like little pouches of vodka and little pouches of rum. And then they put it in their suitcase because you can only take like one bottle of wine or whatever. So that's how they sneak it into the cruises. So could we use the same idea to the Trop? I don't know. I don't know.
And the other thing too is, again, I mean, I'm nitpicking here. Although the cost of food and drink, I don't think that's nitpicking. You can lower that just a bit, but you got to pay for Wander Franco's contract and pay for a new stadium. So I get it. But man, I thought I was like somewhat technology literate, competent. I mean, you saw this in person, Ulises. It took me damn near like 20 minutes to figure out how to download the mobile ticket. I mean, first of all, I forgot my password in the login for MLB.com, but I had to log in 3 different times. I have to download the thing. I have to wait for it to download. Then I have to upload it. And I mean, can't I just text a phone number to the Rays and get some sort of QR code? And let's do text message ticketing instead of having to go download an app to go through this whole process.
Look. If it's seamless, if you have the app and it all works awesome, it's not rocket science. It's awesome. It works seamlessly.
Yeah,
Great.
I didn't have the app on me because I don't need another app on my phone. My philosophy.
Sure. However, we live in 2023. Why does it only have to be MLB Ballpark, the app, the only way that you can get your thing? If you already have that, they already have your information. My goodness, they probably know what brand of underwear we wear. Okay? Yeah. They know everything.
Or if we don't wear underwear.
Or if we go commando, if we're doing commando right now, they don't know. Well, they probably do know that. But the point is, Kevin, if you can download it through the app, can they also send that same QR code on a text message or also on your email, so you have multiple ways of you to show that QR code? Okay.
Yes.
I'm down.
So that's really what I have. I've a couple little, because I mean, I know it's been a long time since 2020 Fan Fest, but I went back and looked at the press release from that, and I feel like they made a little bit more of an effort and did a little bit more with that Fan Fest. I don't know if you recall, but there was the license plate holder that they gave away upon entry while supplies last. That was one thing. The other thing is they had the idea or promotion of, you purchase this bag or sack for $20 and you can stuff as much t-shirts and gear as you want into it.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like, I mean, those definitely were not. Were we handed anything when we walked in, or was there any sort of?
Oh, we were handed a little paper that said where things were, but it wasn't really that.
There wasn't like a giveaway upon entry. Yeah, because in 2020, all fans received a license plate frame presented by the Florida Department of Transportation while supplies last. Also, fans could purchase. This was in 2020. Fans could purchase a bag for $20 and stuff it with endless Rays t-shirts and other items that stuff a bag. Maybe that's why the yard sale, when you got to it in 2020, there was nothing left because people had the pick of the litter of everything there. But something to
that would have been cool. I agree with you, and honestly, maybe we're being too nitpicky because they're like, hey, look, we gave Yandy an extension, Springs an extension, Fairbanks an extension, and you want a little giveaway too? Yeah, we do. We do, Stu.
Yeah.
Come on. Something. A keychain.
Yeah.
Something, bro. Yeah,
So
I'm with you.
do you have was your experience all positive for the most part, or do you have anything to nitpick?
No, I agree with the pricing. The $40 for 2 beers, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. There
gonna
were
start
long
pre-gaming.
lines, especially the yard sale one. My goodness, that was a long.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really buy anything. I mean, and I hope Melissa and Carlos were not let down either, but I think they were. And then it just didn't. Maybe we were there too late. You did say that was going to be a problem. If you get there too late, you might miss out on good stuff.
The thing starts at 11, but you better not get there at 10:45 or 10:50 or 11. You better get there if you really want to make an imprint. I mean, you sort of got to be waiting in line by like 10 a.m. Before even like when the season ticket holders go in as a average fan, you better be there at that time too to be one of the first ones in the door.
And maybe next year with the next Fan Fest, instead of no giveaway, what they could do is give away Built Bars at the entrance. Because if you're looking for a delicious treat and you don't want all the fat and calories, then you have to try Built Bar. I've told you 1,000 times, and I will tell you 1,000 more times. They're so good because they're covered in 100% real chocolate. And if you want to know the stats of said Built Bars, they have only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. And in 2023, it gets even better because now you don't even have to wait for your box to get to your house after you order from built.com. You can still do so, but now you can also go to your nearest Walmart today and pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream or whatever flavor you desire. Oh, you don't want to go to Walmart? There's no Walmart near you? Well, go to Sam's Club, and then you can grab a 13-bar box with, let's say, brownie batter, and you can just go to town with that. So today, if you want something delicious without the fat and calories, then you have to try Built Bars.
All right, before we get to some listener comments on their experience at FanFest, a couple other observations I had. Did I not hit the nail on the head with the MLB alumni photographs that Seth McClung-esque types would be part of that thing? You weren't going to get Carl Crawford. You weren't going to get BJ Upton. You weren't going to get James Shields. You weren't going to get Ben Zobrist. It was going to be Seth McClung, Mike DeFelice, guys of that ilk. Those were the only two that I could see from afar, quite frankly. And I wasn't going to wait in line for their autographs.
Yeah, no, they that's exactly the level, which is cool. I mean, honestly, gotta give it up to Seth McClung to like always say yes to that. Like that's great. Like we
also shout out to I think his nephew who won the NBA dunk contest, Mac McClung. I know they're related in some shape or form.
Get out, they're related?
Yeah.
No,
athletic family. Yeah, Seth McClung and Mac McClung are related.
That kid was I know Ray's podcast. Just give me 20 seconds, people. If you have not seen what Mac McClung did during the dunk contest a couple of days ago, please do yourself a favor as a sports aficionado and just watch his highlights. He was unreal. Like I couldn't believe the stuff that and I never tune into the dunk contest, but it started blowing up on Twitter, and I started watching it. My goodness, that kid was so impressive.
Yeah,
very cool stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, suburban America, there's going to be a lot of Mac McClung jerseys walking around. Just saying. So that was one thing. Which, by the way, Mike DeFelice, his career WAR 0.5. He played like 12, 13 years in the bigs though. And then Seth McClung, his career WAR a whopping negative 0.7. But they played a long time. So that was one thing. The other thing too is we didn't even get to mention this. I mean, she didn't necessarily come up to us. We went up to her, but Trisha Whitaker, we were able to get a little FaceTime with Trisha Whitaker before, people left and right were coming up to take photos and wanting to talk to her. I mean, you have all these baseball players, all these Rays players and prospects that are escorted by security or law enforcement, whatever it may be. I think Trisha needs a security guard or a police officer to escort her to and from, because she was getting like bombarded seemingly. I sort of felt bad for her in a way because, again, I don't want to, make fun of anybody else, but I feel like some people definitely love them some Trisha Whitaker, and she could use some security at her side. Just saying.
But that's the coolest thing, is that she is so approachable. She's charming like that. That's why so many people can relate to her. She keeps it loose. She's goofy. I think she would be okay with us saying, she's goofy. She has fun with it. I think she was making a joke like, "Oh, I'm no Randy Arozarena," when somebody called her, "You're a Rays legend," But she is, like, she has been with the team since 2019. Like that is 4 years. She's starting her 5th season. Like that is almost now half, or maybe close to like 40% of what Todd Callis did. And
think about all the Rays sideline broadcasters that have gone through the ranks.
Yeah, Kelly Nash, Michelle Margot. I don't even remember the other 3 in between.
One that got married to Brandon Geyer, I think. I can't keep track of them all.
There's been so many. Exactly. So a 5th season, that is huge stuff. So yeah, Trisha was always she was really nice to talk to and approachable. And yeah, I mean, I saw some pictures of BA was there, Dwayne as well. They were signing autographs, Doug Wechter as well. So very cool to have also the broadcast team, because these guys are in your living room for 162 games. Like that's no joke. Like we feel close to them. We know their cadences. We know their voices. We know when they're upset. We know when they're trying to have fun. And it's really good for the fans to get some time with them.
Yeah. And they'll be on TV regardless of what happens with the Bally Sports situation. Something will happen. If they have to bring in a camcorder and broadcast that way, it's going to happen. Getting to listener comments here, we put it out on Twitter. The best thing about 2023 Rays Fan Fest was blank. The worst thing about 2023 Rays Fan Fest was blank. So running through these comments, because I think it's important for the Rays to hear this, everybody to hear this for that matter. Patrick Rotella says, best was the yard sale. Worst, extremely long lines for everything. Scared money don't make money. Says one of these days they'll learn to put the $5 sale in the paid autographs in better locations where you aren't smashed in on top of each other. Okay, so that seems to be an ongoing theme here. Everything is coming up. Thrill says everyone seemed to have a really good time. That was the good. The bad, I wasn't able to take off work to go because I'm already taking off to go to opening series. Well, that's more of your problem then. FanFest. Caleb says, I didn't get to go, but I liked how many of the prospects and minor leaguers were there. Yeah. Well, I heard a little birdie say that not everybody made it because a lot of players were stuck in traffic on a bus because it seemed like we didn't get to see everybody that was projected to be there.
I didn't see McClanahan. I didn't see Jeffrey Springs, I think.
Yeah.
So what happens if you bought an autograph from said players and they didn't show up? Do you get refunded?
That's beyond my pay grade. I'll email.
Well, you know what? Later. I'm going to put it out there. If you're one of those fans that bought an autograph from a player and then you did not get to get it because they did not show up, give us an email.
Probably mail you an autograph, right?
I don't know. I think that would be really cool instead of.
But you want the experience of seeing the guy like 2 feet away from you sign the thing and have like 10 seconds of airtime.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know. If you're one of those persons, let us know what's going to happen.
That was the other thing. I mean, we tried to we wanted to try to say hello to Curtis Meade, but they wheeled him off like he was the governor. Like, I mean, come on, like seriously.
Yeah,
like I don't know. They took him back. It was like pro wrestling where they take him behind a curtain and you never see him again. Like what the hell?
There must be like a giant abyss in the middle of center field with those black curtains, because then they were never to be seen again.
Yeah, for real. It's like, okay, I know he's the top ranked, second ranked prospect, but come on here. John Garvey says, number one, the amazing employees at Rays baseball from the top to the players and coaches, and definitely all the help everywhere. Courteous, helpful, smiling, all with that contagious love of the game and respect for the fans. Loved it. Alex Mullen said the best was the yard sale and autographs. The worst lines for autographs, and differences in time/people being late, but that was primarily fixed, so I let it slide. Overall, a really fun event. Line to get in also was very long, but it kept moving, so it wasn't too bad. Michael Burton says, won the 5-yard, the $5 yard sale, hands down, was the best. The worst was spending $34 on 2 chili dogs, a pretzel, and a Coke. Yeah, we agree with you there. Steven says the crowds were insane. Yeah.
2 chili dogs. Well, what else? A pretzel?
2 chili dogs, a pretzel, and a Coke.
That equals 2 beers?
Evidently,
price,
I guess
$40?
we need to change our. Yeah, how much was your pizza, by the way? Your little pan pizza that was burnt.
$14.75, so $15. Woof.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, really, what you got to do is eat and drink beforehand, and then hang out there for a couple hours, then go on your way. I will say, Ballpark Rec is a really great atmosphere, though.
It is.
It's like a legit bar, brewery, whatever it may be. Steven AMG says the crowds were insane, had fun though. Wish these people would go to more actual games. Jeremy Peleas Low says how cool the players were to stop to take quick photos. Plenty of stuff to do with a large crowd. Our buddy Ryan Hill says the best was the yard sale, as long as you got there early and seeing the players interacting with the fans. The worst was, or were the lines in general. The worst one was the Rays Charity Clubhouse Corner. Overall, great experience, though. Trop Top 24, best. There's a lot. Big crowd and excitement, $5 yard sale. Clubhouse tour. I totally misremembered the clubhouse tour thing. Youth engagement. Yeah, a lot of youth engagement activities. Worst, $40 autograph pass per player. It was only 11 to 3 p.m. It should have been 11 to 5 p.m. Yeah, I could see where, maybe make it another hour or 2 longer. That might be something to consider in the future. Breezy says, 1, the best thing about it is it's free. 2, the worst thing about it is the yard sale needs bigger spacing, more organized, and more stuff. Also, the food vendor pricing should be even lower. And then Chris Snyder says, 1, seeing the great pictures was awesome. 2, he couldn't go because he lives 700 miles away. I'm curious to see where Chris Snyder lives. We're 700 miles. Hey, again, there's Rays fans all over, not just in Tampa Bay.
700 miles. That's 3 trips from Tampa to Miami? Where do you live, man?
Probably
North Carolina?
Somewhere, maybe like Atlanta area. How many miles is that? Well, that's probably more like 500 miles.
Yeah.
With that.
I don't know. Tell us where you live, man.
Yeah, tell us where you live, Chris. And it might be on his Twitter handle for all we know. But anyway, there we go. That's our wrap up of FanFest. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you have more comments about the event, feel free to post them on YouTube. Send us an email. Very curious about that. All right. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Now make your second listen the Locked On Prospects podcast. That is also free and available on all platforms. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.